Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Today I'm going to do kind of a different video than what we usually do. So it's not going to be, excuse me, a gun review or anything like that. It's going to be more on investments and how to utilize your cash, commodities, things like that. First of all, I do want to make a disclosure here. Um, this is not an advice in any way, shape, or form. Um, you need to go to your accountant, you need to go to your financial advisor if you have one. I'm not giving you any advice whatsoever. I do have to make that disclosure just so you guys know that. As part of what I do, I cannot give you any advice unless you're one of my clients somehow. Which, anyway, this is not an advice whatsoever. I'm going to share with you guys what I do personally, how I invest my money, if it's too much or too low, or if it's whatever amount is. So usually in the banking business, it's a very complicated process as far as you'll go to the bank, you have some money, you'll talk with a financial advisor, you make an appointment, they draw some plans, they ask you what's your goals, what are you looking to do, so on and so forth, and then they forecast it, and then come up with a couple options. This is what you do, this is what you want to do. I look at it and kind of what the one thing that I wanted to do is, if you're a prepper, that's pretty much what we're looking for at this point. Investing, but from the perspective, or prepping from the perspective of investment. So let's kind of break that down. One, any investment is to sustain wealth, increase wealth. People save, so if it's not just an investment, if it's just a savings, people save for some type of an emergency happening, some type of the unknown, or they're saving for a big purchase, some future planning on buying something, a wedding, school, college, so on and so forth. So you need to ask yourself why are you saving, or why you want to invest. And if you're not saving or investing, should be time to do so. I understand some people are going to say, I don't have money, or the economy sucks. Well, it is either way. It's going to be stay that way. It's going to even get worse. So you need to have some type of money set aside. It doesn't matter what it is, but in case of an emergency. So let's kind of break it down. The way I look at it, I want to live a decent life, and then if I get lucky and retire at one point, hopefully before I'm 80, I have some money to make me, I guess, live decent until I die. Now, I also save, or attempt to save, just in case of, let's say, a layoff, or you lose your job, something happens, a company you work for, it can be a strong company that it goes out of business. So you never know what's going to happen. So that's why you need to have some type of future plan. I mean, unemployment is available now. We don't know if it's going to be available soon or not, with the economy going the way it is and the government shutdown coming soon. The government shutdown either coming soon to an end, or we're going to default on our debt coming on the 14th. Either way, it's going to be an issue. If we print some more cash, and the way they're proposing this is printing cash and not putting a limit on anymore, so we don't have to worry about that coming next year and the year after, and so on and so forth, so they can keep printing and until it burns. Now, if we default on our debt, which in my own opinion, I think it's kind of the smartest idea at this point, let it default, let us start taxing other countries that bring stuff here. People that send work outside of the U.S. will need to pay different taxes. so on and so forth, and restructure the whole country again, start from within side and rebuild. So all these people that don't have jobs will get jobs, and we will start a whole economy like when they came back from the war. So going back, why would you save again? We either said they have a decent life after you retire, or in case of an emergency. Now, in my own opinion, in case of an emergency, all I worry about is I want to make my mortgage payment. I want to have food on the table for my kids. I want to be able to pay my bills. Now, the biggest and the most expensive part of it will be your mortgage, so you need to find a way to look at that, but also food. So this is kind of where we're going to get to how to invest your money if you do have any. You're always going to hear financial planners, financial advisors, anybody in the banking system say diversify your portfolio. And we tend to use very big words, I guess. I don't know if that's what they pay us for, but diversifying your portfolio is just going to be, you can't put all in a simple, really reference, you can't put all your eggs in the same basket. So you're going to hear people say buy gold, buy silver, buy gold, buy silver. And I do buy silver and I do buy gold, but it's not going to be the only thing that you want to buy or sell. And I'm just going to give basics today, and then we can go over more things later on. If you guys have any questions, you can also send to me, if anything, as far as banking financials, and then I can make another video about it. So the way I look at it, the best portfolio to look at is you want to have commodities, you want to have your precious metals, you want to have your real estate, you want to have agriculture, you want to have, there's many different things. It depends on how much money you have. If you have $1,000 or a small amount of money, I would say, hey, maybe you want to start looking, okay, your home security, do you have any firearms, do you have ammunition? This is a good investment. You can buy guns, you can buy ammunition. It gets expensive. You can't think of any time I bought a gun that I lost money on, or guns that I bought 10 years ago, how much they're worth right now. You always going to make money if you look for it in a long-term investment. The other thing, again, you could lose money, but in my own experience, I have not. The other option, or alongside with that, so we're looking at firearms as a good investment, and we're looking at food. Look at the price of milk, look at the price of meat, look at the price of eggs, look at the price of just the dried beans, seeds, so on and so forth. How much all these prices climbing, and how much is gonna go 10 years from now. Now that's when the prepper part comes in. You can store all these. You can, if you store your seeds good, if you store your food good, it can last up to from 10 to 30 years. It depends on what you're doing. Now that's going to be worth a lot more in 30 years than right now. So if you have the option, you can save that. That's all savings. So people look at the savings as how much money do you have in the bank, which is not the smartest thing to look. Another part is buying silver or gold. And again, another issue that people look at, well, price of silver fluctuate, price of gold fluctuate, and people will see the prices going up or going down, and they start either selling because the price is going up, or selling because the price is going down, and they're panicking. In precious metals, you want to look at stuff that it's going to be a very long term, at least 10 years from now. As far as my reading and the books I've read and articles and so on and so forth, many people estimating that gold and silver will go crazy as far as in prices by 2016. As far as the figures that I've heard is $800 for an ounce of, $400 an ounce of silver, and $8,000 an ounce of gold. The estimation also says with the bubble that happened in real estate, and we have not reached the bottom to that bubble yet. And if we do reach that which they're estimating somewhere between now and 2016, to buy a house, about a $200,000 worth of house right now, you'll be able to buy that with 500 ounces of silver, which is about 15 grand right now. I think spot is about 22.50, 22.30 somewhere today, and also about 85 ounces of gold. References in the past that there's 2 or 3 bubbles, I believe, one in the 80s, one in the 30s, one in the 70s. There's one in the 90s as well. All of those, if you reference how much a house was and how much the price of silver or gold, you'll be able to kind of come up to the same. That you can go look at the census and be able to find the prices of silver at what time, and prices of homes. So now again they're estimating that. So that's a good investment if you have some cash that you can set aside, go buy silver or gold. That could be an option. Again, it's not an advice. This is what I would do. I have been buying some silver. I have not been buying gold because what's on the screen here. This is the U.S. code Title 11, and this is the bank and the banks and banking code for the most part. The most important part of this is Section 95. And where the heck is it? I'm not sure. So, okay, let's just, I think it's go to 50, I apologize. Alright, let's just get it in here. Yeah, it's Section 95. It's the emergency limitation and restriction on business of members of Federal Reserve System, designation of legal holidays. What does this say? And you can look at this. This is what when they put the order to surrender all the gold before. This code's still in existence. So what is, to sum it up, in the matter of an emergency act. So and this is what's called Trade-in with the Enemy Act. At any point in the government, or the president have that right to declare war, and it could be any kind of war that the president see. They can request banks to surrender any golds they have. Now, banks don't have any gold like in the past, but they can ask everybody to surrender all your gold. Now, if you don't surrender, it could be an up to $10,000 fine and imprisonment, as far as my understanding of that code. Again, go read the title and the section in the code and all that. So it is U.S. Code 12, Section 95 is the emergency limitation. You can see that here, and it's called the Trade-in with the Enemy Act. Let's see if I can zoom here, if you can see that. So, again, will they be able to confiscate gold? I don't think so. Would they be able to ask us to surrender all gold? I don't think so, because it's, I don't know how they actually enforce that. So we have the silver, the gold. The other part is investing in actually your real estate. Now, you can invest in the property that you live in, because you live in it. You will need a home anyway if anything happens. So if I have a certain amount of money, I will put a big portion towards my house. Now, if home's value go up, go down, it doesn't make any difference to me, because I'm living in this house. So if it goes to, my house is worth $100 or my house worth $1 million, I'm still going to live in this house. So it doesn't really matter as long as it's not going to be, I'm not going to have any debt on it. Regardless of what the payment is going to be. If the economy goes to the shitter tomorrow and my payment is still as is, and we're making more money, that's more part to me. Again, when on the other hand, if you're really not, if you owe a mortgage, if you have a mortgage on your home, you get in tax deductions that can be good for you. So again, you need to talk with your accountant or tax financial advisor, or tax accountant, whatever you talk with. So you do have the option to get some tax breaks if you do have a mortgage. Again, it depends on the individual. Investing in some agriculture land. They're never going to make more land. It is what it is at this point. So if you can buy land right now, that's a good opportunity. Now there's a lot of land, there's a lot of homes that people had extras or bought more, and now they want to sell. You got a lot of foreclosures, a lot of banks trying to get rid of properties they ended up with. That could be a good opportunity. You could buy some land on like 20 cents, 13 cents, 50 cents a dollar. You are saving a lot of money on that, and that can be something that you leave for your kids, or maybe 20 years from now. Again, it's going to be worth a lot of money. And you can look at your home that you purchased 20 years ago, or your parents' home that they purchased 20 years ago, 30 years ago, how much they were. I think my parents bought theirs for 19 grand, and I don't know, it's worth like $300,000-$400,000 now. So it's definitely worth the investment. Again, it's all long-term investments. Now, people can come and be like, well, I don't have any credit to buy, I can't save, I can't do this. We can do many other videos on that. You don't need credit to buy a home or buy land. You can always go on a contract for a deed. To save money, you can always cut a lot of stuff. If you have cable, you can get the hell out of leave cable. Your cable, you can try to cut your phone bill, you can try to cut your expenses in many different ways. If you drink, stop drinking, save that money. If you smoke, stop smoking, save that money. There's many luxuries that we think that we need to live. We need to live, but we don't need. I remember sitting down with an individual that was switching from a job that was paying about $50,000 to a job that was paying about $36,000. Now they're switching because it was less headache, and we're gonna have peace of mind, so on and so forth. And we were able to kind of go over financials and figure out what the heck we need to do. They're paying about $150 worth of cable, another $200 for a phone, which you can go switch your phone to unlimited for like $50, or go to Walmart and buy a plan. There's many different ways. At the end of the day, we were able to save the individual a lot of money to be able to live within the budget they have. So again, I'm going to leave it at that. There's a lot of more information that we can share. I think this video had a lot of information in it. I hope I didn't ramble a lot, but if you guys have any question, just shoot me an email or shoot me a PM and we can talk. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing.